Iran has made an appalling announcement about an ICBM. They have announced that they are going to deploy a 10,000 kilometer range intercontinental ballistic missile. The report has appeared in the media. You need to remember that this is about deployment, not about testing. The world has not known whether Iran was testing an intercontinental ballistic missile which could reach parts of United States and Europe. So primarily it's an unpardonable intelligence failure if what Iran claims is true. Then what are the takeaways from this? As I said, a majority of Europe and the United States will be under the range of the missile, that the missile can wreak havoc anywhere in Europe or the United States. That's the most important takeaway. As an Indian, I would say India also needs to be afraid because Iran is not a great friend of India, though Iran pretends to be one. That's because Iran doesn't have many friends. But if the moment they get a good number of friends, I'm sure that their attitude towards India will change forever. So that's the reality. Then, what's the other realities? It proves that the rhetoric of American President Donald Trump about the prowess of the United States, about the attack carried out by United States early or mid 2025 were all empty. So that has been conclusively proved by this announcement of Iran. What could be the third aspect? The third aspect is now there is going to be an axis between Russia, Iran, then China, then North Korea. US needs to be really worried. And another aspect is, Israel. Israel will be at the mercy of Iran if what Iran said is true. If Iran has been able to build an ICBM with a range of 10,000 kilometers, I mean, they can fine tune it to any extent. They have already claimed that they have got MIRV technology also. I don't know whether all those claims are valid or correct. Then we need to know about the specifications of the missile. I will come to that part also. So let's take a closer look into the claims of Iran. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. Let me start with the latest announcement. The missile, as per Iran, has a range of 10,000 kilometers, and it is a solid fuel missile. So it means it can be immediately deployed. It can be launched immediately. It could be taken around, transported, by a truck or some other vehicle. And that's the most important thing. A solid fuel missile can be kept in canisters and can be readily deployed and can be quickly, launched. So if what Iran said is true, that will pose a great danger. That is going to alter the power equilibrium of the Middle East forever. Then it is a three-stage missile as per you know information available on the public domain. Then they say they have conducted tests. How did they conduct tests? Nobody has reported that. I feel that a couple of years ago there were reports that Iran tested a rocket launcher or a space vehicle, and I remember, I'm not sure about that. I have not verified, but Iran has placed a satellite in the low Earth orbit, so perhaps that might have been a missile test also, because by lofted launches you could test missiles like that without traveling the full distance. You could test a missile like that. So perhaps Iran has conducted such a test. We need not dismiss the claim of Iran. We don't know about the circular error probability of the missile or how accurate it would be. But I think even if the claim is partly true, even that would pose danger to many countries. That's the important thing. Then you need to remember that the US carried out an attack on nuclear sites of Iran in June 2025. And the US claimed that they have destroyed all the vital capabilities of Iran. Now, what about missile capability? I don't know. So, that is a reality. And there is also another danger in waiting, because Russia has agreed to sell their Su 35 fighter jets to Iran. Think Iran possessing Su 35 fighter jets, Iran deploying a 10,000 kilometer range missile, ballistic missile. Then I think from now onwards, US F 16s or F 35s, we won't be able to come inside Iran and launch an attack and return safely. From now onwards, Su 35s will be scrambled, they will follow, they will counterattack. No part of Israel would be beyond Iran's missile range. This is going to be a very dangerous situation in the Middle East. Now, the leadership of the Middle East is likely to uh, be in the hands of Iran. What will Saudi Arabia do? Now, if I read the news that the United States has agreed to sell F 35s to Saudi Arabia together with Iranian claims, now I can understand, and now that makes me believe that the claim of Iran is true. So think about Iran with a missile, 10,000 kilometer range missile that can easily reach Saudi Arabia, any corner of Saudi Arabia. At present, the payload capacity of the missile is said to be around half a ton. It almost means that the missile may not be carrying a heavy nuclear warhead, but at the same time, even a half a ton warhead can wreak havoc. So that's important. And Iran can, of course, better their capabilities, upgrade the capabilities of the missile. Now, who gave Iran the technology? Most probably, the technology was handed over to them by North Korea or even Pakistan. We don't know about that. Pakistan doesn't have a 10,000 kilometer range missile. The maximum range of their ballistic missile is 2,750 kilometers. Perhaps China might have helped them also. There are many possibilities. But the fact that the US has failed to notice it, the much extolled CIA or Mossad have failed to, prevent this. That's really shocking. That's really a jarring thing. Not. So that's the importance. Now, the impacts of it will be much small. As I said earlier, the leadership of the Middle East will be in the hands of Iran. Now, think how the sanctions against Iran are going to be impacted by this development. I'm sure if Iran tries to attack any other country with its modern weaponry, the US will be forced to compromise on sanctions. At least the US will try to save its face by conducting a discussion with Iran. Now, definitely, this is a slap across the face of Donald Trump. It proves his claims have been hollow. It proves he was unrealistic. I'm not using the word unhinged. I don't want to use that against the US president. Now, the US citizens need to remember that war is at their doorsteps. Till now, the US citizens were safe. So that gave immense confidence to the United States to go anywhere in the world, conduct wars, because they knew that their country will be safe from foreign attacks. That's not going to be the situation now. Despite US sanctions, Iran has been able to do this. Despite US sanctions, North Korea has been able to do this. Now both these countries have called the bluff of United States. United States is no more as powerful as it used to be or as it claims to be. Now the reality, let me come to the reality part before concluding. When Israel and the United States carried out aerial attacks in Iran, they forgot the fact that Iran is a big country. And if you have to bring a big country under your control, you have to use ground troops, and without ground troops, you cannot achieve your goal. And the US ground troops are not, brave enough to land in Iran and carry out an attack. US knows very well that if their ground troops land in Iran, that is going to be their comeuppance. So now this is the reality. You can sneak your F-35s in and put one or two bombs and make very tall claims. But if you want to really fulfill your dreams, if you want to achieve your goals, then your ground troops need to land in Iran, comb each and every area and ensure that that Iran's capabilities are destroyed. You have not been able to do that and you have failed miserably. Now the US has become a laughing stock before the world. I'll be back with updates in the coming days. Me too. Till then, goodbye.